Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the garage and welcome back to the Turbo Tom YouTube channel. It's been quite a while. Just looked at my phone. It's been 140 days since the last upload when we got our Kubota tractor. So it's been since the beginning of September since I have uploaded any videos to the YouTube channel. And as you can see from the state of the truck, I haven't done anything with that either. So first, I guess I'll just address where I've been and what I've been up to and why I haven't been uploading, that sort of thing. I have had a ton of direct messages and guys reaching out on Instagram or comments on YouTube. I probably didn't get back to all of you. Just wondering where I've been, if I was done with YouTube, you know, if I was okay, that sort of thing. But we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about what happened in 2021 and what we have in store for this year, 2022. Guys, I wanted to pause the video here right at the beginning. Later on, I talk about what we did this year, and I forgot to completely mention like the people who made this all possible and to help. That's what being away from doing this for 4 months does. Makes you forget kind of how to operate. So I want to start off by thanking the guys at Fluid Amper and AirDog. They're like our two OG sponsors to the channel. They saw what we were doing, said, hey, we want to be a part of this, and have continued along to this monstrosity that we've built as the race truck is now. AirDog and Fluid Amper are two parts I would recommend for any build. Also, something I would always recommend is a Muldoon's transmission. The 48RE in this truck held up phenomenally this year. If it wasn't for mistakes on my part, it would have been in there, I think, the entire year. Held up great. The guys at Muldoon's built a fantastic 48, and we're going to continue to push it even further. On front of that, our Suncoast converter was great. Once again, I think it would have held up just as long as our transmission if it wasn't for some mistakes that I made. In front of that, we have our engine with our Freedom Racing and Fleece Performance engine. Those guys helped out immensely. They built us 1 horse of an engine, went way above and beyond. I mean, we hit every milestone I wanted to with it. We were shooting for 2,000 and we did way better. So time to step the game up to the next level, or maybe a couple levels higher than we were. We're gonna spice things up a bit more. Speaking of spice, the guys at Hardway Performance always bring in the spicy tuning for the truck, and where we go to get all of our performance accessories. So if it makes the truck go faster, it's pretty much coming from Hardway Performance. Those guys are great. So I think that's all of the companies who, you know, stickers on the truck and helped in that fashion. But there's one more sticker on the truck, and that's DNR Customs. So Derek, Nicole, and Dylan came down for UCC 21, helped us out. Great group of people. If you're in the Michigan area, definitely a shop to check out. But they came down, brought the trailer, helped out with UCC 21, taught me a ton, and I look forward to racing with them and against them in the future. So that's who helped us get the truck to where it is. I can't wait to see what 2022 has to offer, but here's the rest of the video. Where we were at last year, 2021, as you can see, if you don't remember, we had an engine issue with our Freedom Racing Engines competition engine for the truck. We burned a piston up. So after that happened, we pulled the engine, got it right out to the guys at Freedom, and they got it apart that day. They told me immediately, like, look, we can get this together for you. The problem is parts availability issues. The problem exactly was we couldn't get the sleeves that we needed for the job. So since we had to wait on sleeves, waiting on 1 sleeve or 6 sleeves was going to take the same amount of time. We were going to go ahead and deck plate the engine while we were at it. Sleeves finally came in. We missed Shide's Diesel Extravaganza, which was the next event. We missed that. The sleeves came in from whoever makes them for the guys at Freedom, and they were incorrect. So they got the ball rolling on getting the correct set of sleeves. You know, what happened there, miscommunication, just, I don't know, didn't ask. Hey, they came in, they were wrong. So we went from there, and the Hardway race got canceled, and, it was getting later on, and we had seen what the time frame was to get the sleeves before, because, the whole supply chain stuff that's going on in the world right now. And at that point, I kind of was like, you know what, I'm not going to make Rudy's. Why get the truck all, race to get the truck back together for Rudy's when we can have it apart and do some other changes and stuff like that. All right, well, now we're in the October, November time frame, and really didn't have any content. I wasn't going to start doing a project on the truck that might take too long and then, hey, everything's, back together and we're ready to go and we could make it. And, I was fighting with that decision, I guess. So I said, you know what, screw it. It's hunting season. We'll go hunting, which I didn't hardly get any hunting in here at the house and all because work got real loaded up. Like when you're busy at work, you just kind of got to, go with it and make the money when you can. So I chose to do that rather than hunting, and did have a couple weeks down at the hunting club as well. So then it got into the winter months and all that kind of thing, and it was kind of the same routine, busy at work, all that. Haven't done anything to the truck, and it was just a matter of the whole, things in motion stay in motion, things at rest stay at rest, and I was kind of in that rest state. Get home, it'd be dark out. I don't feel like working on a truck, Maybe I'd piddle around in the trailer a little bit. I found that to be very relaxing, and we have a couple of those videos coming up. So that's kind of where I've been. Just kind of took a break. Did go out to PRI, didn't take any video or nothing, just to meet different manufacturers and hang out with friends and stuff like that. Came back from PRI, super excited to get back on the truck. Like I had all kinds of plans and was really going to get things in motion. And then I came down with, the vid, and nothing major. It just kind of completely put me on my ass for 2 weeks. Didn't want to get off the couch or do anything, and that kind of slowed that, I'm ready to work on the truck down again. So that's where I've been, what I've been up to, so not much, and I wasn't just going to try and make videos just to make videos. And with it being winter now, looking back, I probably should have started working on my second gen truck, and if we got that in a state where we could take it to the track, hey, we could have gone to Shides and ran ET or something like that. So that's where I've been. To recap 21, we had a good first half of the year for the truck being out. We started the year off with a couple test sessions at Cecil County Dragway, and got the truck down to, I believe it was a 540 in the 8th mile. I believe that was still on the radials. So we did that, changed over to the TBM brakes, got these wheels and tires from Dirty Max Jack since they don't fit on his 3rd gen. These M&H Race Masters on a 16-inch wheel, and we ran them all season. Had great luck with them, and we switched to those for Rudy's. At Rudy's, we kind of maintained the path of a 540 from the radials, but we were learning about suspension. We made some 4-link changes, and we still had some tuning gremlins that we were working through when we turned the truck up a little more. But the truck was doing well. So after Rudy's, I think we might have done 1 or 2 more test sessions, and then it was off to UCC. So we did a ton of UCC prep, and it was well worth it, and everything went very well. Drag race day, we went out. First truck to make like a full hit down the track. We ran a 533 in the 8th, the truck's best pass at the time.
To the 60 out the back door. His new personal best, 533 with a 632.23. Good.
Went back up, make another pass middle of the day, and I left too soon under too little boost. After that, we decided, you know what, let's save the truck. We're in 3rd place behind Justin Ziegler, and I think that's a 7-point spread there. We're not going to light the world on fire and go from a 533 to a low 5, in that day. So it was a 7-point difference between us, and hey, we go up and get a 10th faster than him, or a 100th faster than him. He could go out there and do the same thing. Why beat on the truck? It's not worth it points wise. So we got ready for Dyno Day. Dyno Day had its own little stuff going on in the morning, but we got up on the dyno, had some issues up there as well. Very big learning curve there. I'd never dynoed a truck before, but we managed to squeak out 2,090 horse and 2,789 foot-pound of torque, I believe. I messed up there. I just not knowing what I was doing, and there were some things we could have done differently, and we made some choices that regretfully we weren't able to get a second pass on the dyno, which was fine. Not a big deal. We cracked 2K, and that was my original goal for the truck. So then we went into sled pull day, and well, before that, I was going to race ODSS, but the stuff going on, all the commotion we had in the morning for the dyno day, when we hadn't broken anything yet, I said, you know what? Let's just get the truck ready to sled pull, have a nice, easy day, and not stress the truck out. I don't need to be, running this thing in ODSS and then blow the transmission because my spare had a questionable converter that was from previous stuff. I said, you know what? Let's just get the truck ready to sled pull, and that's what we did. So we sled pulled on Sunday and did okay, 294 feet with the truck coming to an abrupt stop. Pretty sure it just shut off on us. Couldn't find anything else that we thought it did. So after that, we took a trip down to a diesel event hosted by Holly Rock Customs at Maryland International Dragway. Ended up being a bracket race for our class, but that was fine after we hit 8:26 in the quarter mile right off the trailer. So I was super excited. After that, I didn't care what else was going on. We made some nitrous adjustments and then eventually ran an 8:24 by the end of the day. So super excited, got past, my original goal was 850 for the truck in the quarter, and we blew right past that, fully making it, I put in a 25.6 cert cage in the truck because I wanted to go faster than 850, and we did that first time running it out the back end on the quarter mile. So I was just tickled pink. After that, it was kind of downhill. So went to Virginia Motorsports Park, VMP, and spooled the truck up after we got there, and it was holding, and then it went to the moon. So we had a transmission issue. So we swapped the spare trans in with our questionable converter and went up there and tried to make some test licks, and every time we just spun. And a lot of people were having some trouble up there as well. But anyhow, that event ended up getting rained out, so we didn't get any racing in there. Then everything seemed fine. We got our transmission and all back to the guys at Muldoon's to get together for us, and then we went down to Quarryville Dragway for the RLC race, and that was the last thing we did that year. So RLC race was very trying. It was our first race there out with our 48-foot car hauler, which having that race trailer where you can stay at the track, that event just showed you exactly why you want to have that thing. So we got there, I think Thursday for testing, pulled the truck out, got everything set up, spooled it up, and after we got spooled up, everything was good. Went back to the trailer, and the truck would not stop. I couldn't stop it with the brakes. Here, we checked a bunch of things. Here, the converter welded itself together. Like I said, that converter it was questionable. Didn't have time before UCC to get the proper stuff, so it was one that I already had. And when the guys at Muldoon's whipped up this transmission for me, they just said, here, look, I got a fat shaft, I got a converter, just put a trans together for me, and we'll go from there. So Cody Fisher from Firepunk, he lent us his spare converter, so we were able to go out and try and do some racing. So we went out on Friday for qualifying, got our first qualifying pass in with that converter, and the four-link hit the track. It was pretty violent because Cody's converter on his stall on his converter is different than ours, so it just made way more power than we were expecting, and the truck was hopping and all. It still left fairly good, I thought, just seated the pants. But the hopping and all, it cost us time. Got to the end of the track, got on the brakes, and here are driver's side brake hub. The bolts had sheared off at the starting line. So trying to hold the truck back with the brakes, it snapped the bolts right before launch. Some people had iPhones, and you could see in the video the bolt heads falling out. They came to me with like 6 bolt heads broken off of the brake hub. So guys from Dirty Hooker Diesel were nice enough to get those studs out of our brake hub for us. Got some grade 8 hardware and put that back together and went out to qualify the next day. So we went out, made a qualifying pass on Saturday, went up for Q2, and went to make a lick, and about halfway down the track, it made an awful noise, white smoke. I got to the end of the track and I shut it off. Popped the front clip up, and there was oil all over the place. Yeah, so we knew something was hurt. So we drove it back to the pits. Our guys from Hardway Performance came over. Ryan from Hardway listened to it crank over about 3 times. He said it's dragging a piston. All right, well, it is what it is. So we started making phone calls, all that kind of stuff, and loaded the truck up and proceeded to, when we got it home, pull the head to find out that was the case. We burned up a piston, cylinder wall, and so that was what we accomplished in 2021. Very happy with that UCC. We ended up 6th overall for our first time doing it, first time over sled pool, and first time ever dynoing. Very happy with how it did. Also, I think we were one of the very few trucks that didn't have to be worked on all weekend. There were some other guys that didn't, but that was not the majority. We pretty much just got it ready for the next event. So for something I built in my garage, very happy with that. Also, fastest 8th mile pass was actually our fastest quarter-mile pass. We did an 8:27. We did a 5:27 in the 8th. Now, this is all on CSP1, so we're not putting out a ton of power. And this is holding back with a foot brake, not a trans brake or anything like that. So there's definitely room to improve there. So that's 2021. So on to 2022. As you can see, still no engine in the truck. We still don't have an engine from Freedom Racing because we had an original plan for what we were doing. Then we changed the plan after we realized we weren't going to be done for the season. We're going to try and make things even stronger. And then after I was at PRI and we had some conversations, we're going to go even a step further and change things way up as far as the truck is concerned. So we're going to be changing a lot of things in this compartment here. We're going to be changing a lot of things as far as our transmission goes to address some of the issues that I just spoke of. And the goal is to make it to the first ODSS race, which is now at Wagler Motorsports Park at the end of April and is about 90 days out. And then UCC, which is the beginning of June, which is 127 days out from today. So about the time you have a little less than the time you haven't seen a video is when we need to be ready for UCC. So we have a lot of work to do. And the big problem with it is a lot of the work we can't do until we get like our engine and stuff like that back. So when we come to UCC or ODSS time, there may be a big crunch to get this thing together. So not looking forward to that. But other than that, I would like to make all the ODSS races if we can. And then this year have our game, step our game up and at UCC run the Firepunk, ODSS race there as well, like the Dirty Hooker guys did this year. That's my goals. I have other goals for the truck that have changed, but primarily I made all the goals I wanted to for the truck last year, other than making all the ODSS races. Looking back, I should have started working on the 2nd gen, which I haven't hardly touched in a year. I should have started working on that and just gone out and ran ET and had fun with my friends. But I neglected to do that. So we have a lot of work to do to this thing, and it's going to be a journey. I'm sure not all of it's going to be very interesting. It's not like before on the truck when we had, rack and pinion steering. We changed over to front coilovers, the cage, the fork. We had big projects to do. we really don't have that right now. It's a bunch of little stuff, a bunch of other stuff. We're going to be changing a lot of wiring up, changing my steering up a little bit just to make it a little bit beefier, and overall just trying to make the truck look better. I would like to get it wrapped or painted this, well, probably wrapped. I'm too rough, I think, for paint. But I would like to get the truck having a good look this year. So anyway, guys, that's where I've been, what we've been up to, what we got done last year, and what we plan on doing for 2022. I don't know if I'm going to have content twice a week, 3 times a week, weekly. I don't know what that looks like because of just the status of the, what we got to wait for on the truck. We're really at limited, but I'm going to do the best I can to be as prepared as possible. So might be an update once a week, might be stuff a couple times a week. I don't know, but appreciate everybody, looking out and asking where I've been and all that kind of stuff. Sorry if I didn't get back to you, but I just was getting a lot of messages and just kind of was staying away from most of it. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Hope you're excited for 2022. I know I am also a little bit nervous just because, yeah, we got a lot of changes to make and we got 127 days to do it. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching.